In this video, I'm going to show you exactly how Shelby Sapp uses psychology to make an estimated $614,000 a month with her info business. And it all comes down to this one simple framework, and it's all about sales cycle. You see, in most businesses, especially in info where trust is at the lowest, it takes anywhere from 90 to even 180 days for people to actually convert. And you can Google that. It takes 90 to 180 days from someone to go from not even knowing who someone is to actually buying on average. And people like Shelby Sapp, Iman Ghazi, Breast Scales, all of those big guys master this one thing that I'm going to share about with you in a second, and it allows them to basically shorten this gap right here and make a 3x return on that, which means 3xing their businesses. Because if you can get cash 3 times faster, it basically means that you can do 3 times more in the same period of time, successfully 3xing your business. And to explain all of this for you today, we're going to talk about the archetype, so why actually they can make this difference, then how they use that in the short form strategy, for example, as Shelby, and at the end, how they use the low-key selling method to convert all of those leads. So let's get started. The archetype. So in business, we need to do those 3 things to actually convert someone. First, they need to know that we actually exist. That's the first thing. Then they need to actually start to like us. And at the end, they need to actually trust us. And if someone goes from here to here, then from here to here, and from here to here, this is when they will actually make the decision to buy something from us. And Shelby mastered that by, instead of creating this complex personality that she probably has in her personal life, she leans into one archetype. And in her scenario, this is the Pilates Porsche aesthetic, where she, as you can see, mastered that. And if you even look at other businesses, so for example, Breast Scales, he leans into the aesthetic of being the typical rich new money kid, right? As I said, Shelby leans into the clean girl, Pilates, Porsche, all of that, independence as a woman. And Iman Ghazi, for example, leans into the old money style, which made him actually stand out in the crowded space a few years back. And this is how they can create those different sounding, different looking brands that actually make people trust them. And on top of that, if you think about it really carefully, right? We all saw, even met in our lives, those type of girls, right? So that they are really into Pilates, Porsche, Stanley Cups, Starbucks, all of that, right? This type of person, this type of archetype, right? That is also, memed, and everyone basically knows them. You either hate it, love it, somewhere in between, doesn't matter. Because what it does is, if you keep watching Shelby Sapp videos, right? When, for example, here, the typical Porsche, right? Your husband must be rich. She even leans into this even more in her videos because she really understands it. She and her team, right? Then, of course, all of this independence that she can travel on her own, right? Being the girl boss, right? Spending money on materialistic things. And again, going to yoga, Pilates, all of that, right? This allows her to shorten the gap that people need to get to know her, because, again, they just need to see a blonde with a pink car that is looking like she is going to her yoga class, and they already project a whole personality on her, right? Then, okay, 90% of people will just stop there. But if someone is her ICP, so is also a woman, wants to make money online, wants to be independent, all of those things, then they will not stop there, but they will keep watching, being nurtured by her content, both short form, long form, doesn't actually matter that much, and they will start to like her. And again, they don't need to watch 100 hours of content, they just need to watch 10 and they will like her. Hey, so if you are enjoying this video right now and you would like my help with scaling your own service or info-based business, then just message me on Instagram and I will see what we can do. All right, back to the video. Because let's say that this is a personality of a typical person, right? 10 hours of content will show you this much, but because they are pinning themselves, right? They are leaning into the archetype. People don't need to watch, another 10 hours here, another 20 here, but they can project the rest of personality. And this makes them feel like they actually know them. And at the end of the day, Shelby doesn't need to be this complicated, multi-layered person, because at the end of the day, she just wants to make money from her business. And that's why she wants to shorten the gap that it takes from people to know her, like her, and trust her. And this is how she does it. And this is exactly the same how someone like Iman Ghazi does it with being the old money European guy. And the same way as Breast Scales does it by living the atypical teenager from American dream, right? Riding Lambos, having expensive watches, all of that. So this is how they do it. And this is key for understanding how they actually can pull this off and how their businesses stand out from competition, and at the end of the day, how they can make, for example, 614K a month. And this is the psychology behind it. And then how they actually do that. And that leads into the second step. So your quote unquote best friend short form strategy that I guess no one right now pulls off that good as Shelby Sapp and her team. So if you carefully analyze the whole short form content of Shelby, you can see that she basically has 4 types of videos: value-driven videos, lifestyle, authentic, and viral. And this allows her to build here, middle of the funnel, here also I would say middle of the funnel, and here, top of the funnel, top of the funnel. So let's analyze those step by step. So first, the value pieces. So this is where she actually talks about how to become a remote sales rep and teaches women how to communicate, how to do objection handling, and all of this stuff. This is also where she will do call to actions. And by analyzing her content, she does call to actions in about 10% in all the videos, right? Sometimes the call to action will be in the video itself. That's more rare. Usually the call to action will be the last line in the description, because then it pops the ManyChat automation, gets people on her email list, and then they can actually sign up for her webinar. And yeah, this is where they are being closed, but I'm going to talk about it in a second right here. Now, lifestyle content. So this is where she will, of course, jump on the trends, showing her fancy lifestyle, basically selling the dream. And she also knows that she cannot go too hard on this, because this will make her feel like she's just trying to sell you stuff. So this is why it is balanced by the authentic content, right? So if you think about the lifestyle, it's jumping on all the trends, selling the dream. And again, if we go back into the know, like, and trust formula, those formats actually reflect those, right? So get to know her. This is what the viral content will do. Then they need to actually like her and see that she's a real person. So what will happen? It's about the authentic content. And at the end, they need to trust her. So this is the value content. And you probably see that there is this one lifestyle that I left out, because actually lifestyle has this one purpose. And this is to create authority. Because if Shelby is selling a high ticket program, she needs to build authority. This is completely different, right? Because again, she acts like your best friend. But if she didn't have all of this success right here, why would you listen to her? So she needs, before you actually get to trust her, you need to be impressed by what she did. And this is where the lifestyle content comes. So I hope with this mess right here, all of this, you actually get to understand that every single piece of content she posts has a purpose. It's not like she picks camera and just starts yapping, even though it may seem like it. And after doing all of this magic right here, getting people to know, like, and trust her, she can actually start converting them. And let's talk about how she does that without looking like she is selling. So every single lead is being redirected right here. She Sells Academy, when she hosts a weekly webinars. And why webinars in her scenario? Because at this level of business, right, where Shelby has a limited time, she needs to do highest leverage activities. So if you have an audience of 1,000 people, doing webinars, it's not worth it, because you're gonna have 10 people there. And it's much better to just get 10 calls with those people, because it's gonna feel more personalized. You can answer their questions, all of that. But when she's dealing with an audience of millions of people, she needs to do that, because usually on those webinars, she will have anywhere from 1 to 10,000 people. Imagine that. And she can sell easily, probably 10% to actually book a call, and then 30% of her sales team can do the rest of it. So let's imagine that when she has 1,000 people, she can book 100 calls from it and then close 30, let's say at a price of $3,000 average. So that's 30 times 3,000. So if my math is correct, that's $90,000 just from one webinar. So as you can see, it works. And this is how she does it. So going back to it, just a simple landing page, save my free spot. Then it's also what's actually included, right? So it describes the pain points and the dreams of her ICP, and she probably tested a bunch of those, and right now she's probably close to perfecting that. Then it's qualifications, right? So make sure that the people actually have the expectations right. And then it's meet the speaker, so building even more authority on her side. And then you just join the masterclass, which is of course a webinar, and you opt in. When you do that, the first thing that will happen is you have this VSL, and this VSL is a perfect explanation of the whole low-key selling, because look at how she's positioned here. She's not in a professional studio. She's not even looking like she is trying to sell you. She's literally looking like you are speaking with her on FaceTime. And this is done on purpose. And most people will never think about it when looking at it. Where she's like, I don't know, in some type of like cafe, I guess, next to like some type of cafe. And she's just talking to a phone, right? And it's just a quick confirmation VSL, right? Like a few minute one where she basically breaks down the most important things and make sure that you actually accept the invitation. The invitation is sent by her team, and this is how the process begins. Then you hop on a webinar, then you sign up for a call, then you are close and you are in. So as you can see, she uses a lot of psychology to actually make those $614,000 a month. And I hope that this video gave you the perspective that at the top level, everything is done by purpose. And if you enjoyed this video right here, I think you're gonna enjoy this one. This is like a whole breakdown of breast scales funnel. So make sure to check it out. And I hope you enjoyed it. See you next one.